Courtney having a baby.
Hi guys, my name's Courtney and welcome back to my channel. This is my 25-week bump date. It's actually one day late. I am 25 weeks and 1 day today, but I had work yesterday so I didn't have time to do it. So I'm doing it today. I have so many things to talk about this week, so I will go ahead and jump straight into it. First of all, this week baby is the size of a papaya, and apparently according to my pregnancy apps, my uterus is the size of a soccer ball. That is massive. Also, I'd just like to mention that last week I said that I had my glucose test coming up, so I would mention it in this week's bump date. However, I misunderstood what my OB was saying, and it's actually in a couple of weeks' time. I think it's in about a week and a half. So it's not going to be in this bump date, which is okay because I actually have a lot to talk about. First of all, I'll just go through my symptoms. My first symptom that I would like to mention is Braxton Hicks contractions. I would just like to mention that I'm not 100% sure what Braxton Hicks contractions feel like. I've never been this far pregnant before, so I am kind of just going by what I think. I'm having times where it's either her pushing out or I'm having a Braxton Hicks contraction. I'm not too sure. Sometimes it's just half of my uterus that's hard, which makes me think it's just her moving, and sometimes it's my whole stomach area that's hard, which makes me think it's a Braxton Hicks contraction. In saying that, the other night when I was laying in bed, I had about 5 in a matter of 20 minutes. I was really concerned and I was considering going to the hospital. However, my husband said, it's fine, you're not in labor, you would know, don't worry about it, just go to sleep. And I had work early the next day, so I figured I would change my positions and drink a bunch of water and see if that would help. And I rolled over, had heaps of water, and it stopped completely. I'm thinking it was just a bunch of random Braxton Hicks contractions because I was laying on my back. I wasn't going to sleep. I was still awake in bed. I do sleep on my side, but when I lay down and, you know, on my phone or whatever, I'm on my back. So I'm thinking that that's maybe why I was having heaps of them. It's really hard to know when it's appropriate to go to the hospital. I don't want to go there and have them tell me it's just your baby moving or question why I came in the first place. The next symptom that I have to mention is sharp stretching pains, which I guess is also kind of ties into round ligament pain. So I've been having this pretty often. I'll just be walking and it's always the left side in the same spot as well. It's like a sharp stabbing pain. She pretty much just chills out on the right side of my uterus. 95% of the time she's completely all the way over to the right side. But I've been getting a lot of sharp stabbing pains on my left side and just general achiness of round ligament pain. It kind of feels like really, really mild menstrual cramps, I guess, which concerns me at the time, but I know that everything is growing and stretching, and so there's bound to be some discomfort involved. The next symptom that I would like to mention is, I don't actually know if this is the correct terminology for it, but I've heard it be called lightning crutch. It's just such a strange symptom because there's nothing that you can do about it to relieve the pain. I was just like, I was in my car, I think, driving, and I was just like, ow, 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 and Andrew's like, what are you doing? And I had to explain to him what it was, and he thinks it's a bit strange, but I believe it's from baby kicking you in the cervix, so something like that. I don't know. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that is something new that has happened this week. Another symptom is fatigue. I've still been very, very tired and I can't get through the whole day without a nap, which makes me think that there's some kind of deficiency going on or something. So my doctor has added a few extra things to test during my glucose test. I'm pretty sure he's testing for anemia, which I believe is iron. And he's also going to test my thyroid levels as well as the glucose levels. And he's also going to test my vitamin D levels because at the beginning of the pregnancy I had low vitamin D levels, but not enough that they were worried about it. So all of those things are going to be tested in about a week and a half time. My next symptom is very unpleasant, and I guess TMI, is gas. This one's funny because there's nothing that I can do about it, and just a bit of information, which is also probably oversharing on this channel, and it will probably surprise a lot of you. It surprises everyone that I tell, is that my husband and I have been together for 6 years and he has never heard me pass gas. So this has been a really interesting symptom for me. It's at the point where it's been 6 years and it's too awkward now because it's been so long. It would be alright if it had have happened in the first, 6 months or whatever, but because it's been 6 years, it's just, even Andrew says, it's just too weird now. But the other night in bed, the gas is so bad that it literally wakes me up. Like, I wake myself up. It's so strange. And I just lay there, like, wondering whether Andrew woke up or whether he heard it. I have no idea. He hasn't mentioned anything. My next symptom is headaches. I've been getting these on and off. I know it's a pretty common pregnancy symptom, but it's not too bad. I don't need to take any Nurofen or anything like that, or any Panadol. I haven't taken anything like that since I got pregnant, and I don't plan to. It's just mildly uncomfortable. My next symptom is sore breasts. This is also not all the time, it's just every now and then. I don't know whether I sleep funny or everything's just forming. They're definitely getting bigger as well. Okay, so that's all the symptoms that I have to mention for this week. I do have a few bits of information in relation to work as well that I mentioned in my last bump date, that I was trying to get work on the ground and they said that there was none available for me. However, I did some more research and found out that if they are unable to provide me with a safe job on the ground, that they have to pay me until my baby's born. I have a new update on this. The last thing that I told you guys was that I sent my boss an email basically stating that this is what I'm entitled to, and I was waiting for her response. Well, she responded. She was aware of it, which is surprising to me. She wasn't surprised at all. She said, yes, that's correct, that's how it works. And I'm like, well then why were you trying to get me to take unpaid maternity leave? It makes no sense to me that I have to research and fight when you knew all along what I was entitled to. It just kind of annoyed me. But anyway, she knew that it was a thing, and like I said in my previous bump date, I knew this would happen. Magically, some groundwork has appeared out of nowhere. So now I am actually going to be working on the ground from 35 weeks, probably for 2 or 3 weeks until I don't feel comfortable working anymore. That leaves me with less time that I'm not getting paid for, which is absolutely amazing, and I'm so thankful for the work on the ground. I just hope that other flight attendants at my company in my situation know what they're entitled to and kind of fight for their rights, because I get the feeling now that the company is kind of mad at me for knowing what I'm entitled to, and it's just not pleasant, especially when you've been working for a company for 5 years. You'd think that they would look after you a little bit better. Another thing that happened this week was I listened to her heartbeat on the Doppler for the first time in weeks. I never use it anymore because she moves so much. But last night I decided that I just wanted to hear her heartbeat, and I knew she was probably sleeping because I hadn't felt her move in probably about half an hour. So I got the Doppler out and I put the gel on my belly, and as soon as I put the Doppler on my stomach, I could hear it as well. She was kicking it or punching it, or she didn't want it in her space. And I did manage to find her heartbeat for a few seconds, and then I just turned it off. But wherever I put it, she would kick it, and it was just really strange. It's like she mustn't like it in her personal bubble, which is fair enough. Also, I had an ultrasound at my last OB appointment, which was a few days ago. I got some video footage of this ultrasound for my husband because he was unable to make the appointment, so I will insert that video footage here.
Okay, so you can see forehead, eye, nose, and then lips. Just underneath here you can see the 2 little lips. And there's the tip of the nose, and then we come up. Heart, ribs, the bottom that we saw before, and then the legs that are crossed over. So one leg coming this way, and there's the other one over the top coming towards the little foot.
So that was really exciting to see how big she's getting, and I just sat there with a stupid smile on my face the whole time, kind of like this. Last thing that I have to mention this bump date is that I am exclusively wearing maternity clothes, pretty much. This shirt that I'm wearing isn't maternity, but it's really flowy. The shorts that I am wearing are maternity. I also had to go out and purchase a maternity dress for work because my company does not supply us with a maternity uniform, and I was seriously struggling to fit into my size 6 work uniform, which, I mean, I'm 25 weeks pregnant, of course I'm going to struggle to fit into a size 6 piece of clothing. So I went and got a maternity dress. It's just a plain black maternity dress, and I've been wearing that to work, and it's so much more comfortable, which is nice. Okay guys, I'll go ahead and show you my 25-week bump. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching my 25-week bump date. If you haven't already subscribed, you can subscribe below if you would like to follow our journey, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!